guys? Thanks for tuning in. This is the Winter Media channel on YouTube. If you listen to this on Spotify, I highly recommend looking on YouTube. We are talking about sports and global events today, so I hope you enjoy. Yo, welcome back to another episode of Winter Media. This week we're going to be covering the fourth week of the NFL season along with some global and domestic news. If you guys are just joining us, we do this every week for the NFL. Soon we're going to incorporate some NBA stuff. And then in the off season, I'm going to figure out some other subjects to go ahead and cover while we wait for the sports to start back up. Please, best way to support the channel is go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that like button. Comment below, along with following all the social media that I have for this channel, especially TikTok. I post at least 2 to 3 times on TikTok every week, especially drawing from the episodes I make. I also post my predictions, which we will go over in this video, so please enjoy. Alright, we're going to get right into it. Week 4 of the NFL season. Cowboys beat the Giants. Bengals beat the Panthers. Saints lost to the Falcons. Jaguars lost to the Texans. Broncos barely beat the Jets. A very, very low scoring game. Vikings beat the Packers. Steelers lose to the Colts. Rams lose to the Bears. Let's go Bears. Eagles lost to the Bucks. Patriots lost to the 49ers. Chiefs beat the Chargers, and Commanders beat the Cardinals. Now Browns beat the Browns lost to the Raiders. Bills lost to the Ravens. Titans beat the Dolphins, and the Seattle Seahawks lost to the Lions. Now these are the current standings of every division. We're going to go through it real quick. I'll give you my thoughts. And yeah, so Bills are 3-1. I don't expect them to do much this season. I understand they had that hot start, but honestly, it wasn't much. Nobody's really doing anything over there, so it's okay. It's all right. I'm not too worried about them. Now the Jets, Patriots, and Dolphins. Patriots and Dolphins are going to be bad. Their quarterbacks are out. Unless Tua comes back, if he does come back, they probably won't make the playoffs just because of how serious his injury was. Along with the Patriots, they don't have a quarterback as of right now, and the quarterback play is iffy at best. I've seen better from both quarterbacks that they have. Honestly, I believe that they should throw Drake May out there, get him that experience. And then the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers, he's Aaron Rodgers. He's going to cry about everything. If it doesn't go his way, then it wasn't his fault. It's everyone else's fault. So those post-game conferences that Aaron Rodgers, man, they need to just put him in the locker room and send him home after. Because this is ridiculous. You're going to blame your coach, for not instilling more discipline in the team, which you're correct, but you're the quarterback. You're the leader. You're supposed to be like, you and the coach are supposed to be like this, but since you're against the coach, who knows what's going to happen to Robert Saleh. Now, the Steelers were given their first, the Steelers and Bills were given their first losses this weekend. Now, you got to really, really watch out for the Colts now, because Joe Flacco is back. So Joe Flacco is back on the field. Anthony Richardson unfortunately got hurt. And Justin Fields still can't execute. I understand they were putting up points, but most of the points came from running. And a lot of people say like Justin's a very good quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's a very good quarterback. I don't think he could throw the ball at the NFL level like you need him to, and I don't think he can execute plays like NFL teams need him to do. Because at the end of the day, what happened in Chicago was terrible, terrible situation. Always had a new coach, always had a new OC, players coming in and out. But even with DJ Moore, he didn't show enough. He did not show enough. I understand the Bears won, I believe, 7 games. It still wasn't enough. Still was not enough. Now, Baltimore Ravens, they do look like that team. They beat up on the Bills, and I got to be honest with you, they need to hand off the ball more. Every game. Hand off the ball more. If you think you're doing too much, just hand the ball off. That boy Derrick Henry was tearing them boys up. I believe he had 27 carries for like 209 yards, I believe is the stat. Insane stat. But Derrick Henry, man, he, for a 30-year-old guy, he's still doing it. Browns and Bengals. Bengals would be all right. They're gonna catch they're catching their stride, so I ain't worried about them. They're usually not a good starting season kind of team, anyways. Cleveland Browns. Something's coming down the pipe, and Deshaun Watson might be the bud at the end of the cigarette. Like it's bad in Cleveland. It's bad in Cleveland. I predicted Deshaun to do better this year. I did not have them making the playoffs, but I still expected him to do better this year, and he still hasn't performed. Honestly, getting rid of him, and if you get a high draft pick, trying to reconstruct that contract and then trade him away, that would be their best bet, or just cut him. But you have all that dead cap space. So, not the best or most ideal situation, but it is what it is. Now going on to the South and AFC South and AFC West, Houston Texans are ahead of that division. Watch out, okay? I don't have the Colts making the playoffs, but I did not predict Joe Flacco to be starting because I thought Anthony Richardson was a little bit more durable than what he's shown, but Joe Flacco starting, yeah, you might want to book the Colts because that Joe Flacco does not lose a beat. Texans, they pulled out a good win against Jacksonville. Honestly, I thought the Texans were a little bit lazy. They should have beat Jacksonville by a lot more. Jacksonville defense still is alright. It's suspect at most. So I really believe that CJ Stroud should have went in there, lit him up, and left and went home. But here we are. Didn't do that. A win's a win. Is a win. Okay. Now, Tennessee Titans got the first win of the year against Miami Dolphins. I mean, a win's a win, right? But it's been terrible in Miami. Like, dude, it's been so bad quarterback-wise in Miami. There's nothing, like, they're going to lose a lot of games this year. Like I said, unless Tua comes back and injury isn't that serious, like, as in, like, moving forward, which I don't predict anybody's going to come out and say that. Everyone's coming out, like, already saying it's too dangerous for him to continue playing, but he needs his money. He needs that bag. So, I mean, I know he got plenty of money for that, for being the first round pick, but I know he still got that 240. I think it was 240 mil guaranteed. So, he still had that bag waiting for him, but he needs to be medically forced to retire from the NFL to be able to receive that guarantee. But if he retires from the NFL, even if he says, oh, it's medical reasons, the NFL will not accept it unless they do their due diligence and the team does their due diligence, because they don't want to give him that money if he's undeserving of it, which I think he's deserving at least half of it. But here we are. Now, let me get to the joke of the year. Jaguars, have you learned how to play football yet? Like, Jesus, Trevor Lawrence, what are we doing over there? This is just looking terrible. We need to get our act together We need to start making better passes, better decisions. And like I said last week, you need to go to that head coach and go to that OC. Say, don't even worry about calling a play. I'm calling all the plays for now because this is ridiculous. How do we go out every week and just lose? Oh, wait, and lose some more? You just got to go to them and say, I'm calling plays for now. Until y'all get up out of here, I'm calling plays. Now going to the AFC West. This division, I'm going to keep it pretty quick, fast, and easy. Listen, Chiefs are going to win out. Chargers, Raiders, Broncos, they're all going to not be good this year. I know a lot of people are high on the Chargers. Chargers will not be good this year. Okay, we could try next year, but they will not be good this year. Raiders and Broncos will not be good this year. They're going to win some. They're going to lose majority. So I'm not very highly on these teams. So that's and they're starting Bo Nix. So Bo Nix, he's been doing good, but it ain't it. It ain't it. Now moving on to the NFC East, NFC North. Washington Commanders are at top of their division, 3-1. Cowboys, Eagles are 2-2, and Giants are 1-3. Oh man. Cowboys beat the Giants, but it was not impressive whatsoever. It was a very sad win. Like, it was like, okay, you're beating up on like bad people. Like, you're not the good. Like, you're beating up. It's like if Batman just rolls up and starts beating like good Samaritans. It's messed up. No one understands why, but a win's a win. A win's a win. So, Cowboys fans, I'm sure, are ecstatic that they won this week instead of getting blown out like last week, or the week before that. So, moving on to the Commanders, Jaden McDaniels is looking like, I don't want to say it, but Offensive Rookie of the Year. That brother's just doing too much. It's Cliff Kingsbury is going crazy with that playbook and how to call it against these defenses. We need him in Chicago. Okay? But I digress. Eagles are in big trouble. I actually have them winning this division. Doesn't mean that they're not in big trouble. They're in huge trouble. Jalen Hurts clearly is not happy with Nick Sirianni, and they need to figure it out. And they need to go out there, be professionals, and win the game. Don't worry about your feelings. Don't worry about whatever. If he calls a play and you don't like it, hey, audible out of that, man. And just tell somebody, hey, man, when I audible, I want you to run this route. Don't run the normal route, run this route. And just run your offense. That's what I'll say. But I'm not there. I'm not in his family. Nothing. So I hope the Eagles do better, but they're in some trouble regarding the just communication throughout the organization, communication from coaches to players. It's seeming like. Okay. So now, Minnesota, going on to the NFC North. Minnesota is at the top 4-0. Detroit Lions are 3-1. Green Bay Packers and Bears are both 2-2. Jordan Love came back this week and didn't like it because Minnesota just whooped on them. So, like the Packers, I got Minnesota missing the playoffs this year. To be fair, I did not, one, expect the rookie quarterback to be out for the season, and two, Sam Darnold to start doing amazing things that he hasn't done in other situations before. But he does have weapons, so maybe that's helping him. I just still don't believe in the Vikings. I think at the end of the day, it will be Bears, Lions, and Vikings that might come out of this division. But I'm really still liking Lions 1, Packers 2, Bears 3. I still like, and Vikings 4 in that division. I still like that. I know the Vikings are 4-0, and it seems crazy that they're just going to lose like 13, like not 13 games straight, but more games out of the 13 than winning. So that's my thoughts about that. that now let me spend some time on my Bears.
Great win. Great win. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Like, this is what I'm talking about. We got to get Caleb rolling a little bit, okay? Our OC is bad. Our head coach is bad, okay? So it's taking them time, but people are starting to see. People are starting to see what I saw.
I said take Caleb from the start. Why not?
We really should have Patrick Mahomes, but I'll leave that alone. Caleb, he's gonna be the greatest Chicago Bears quarterback in franchise history. Okay, that boy, he can fling it. He could throw. He's made good decisions and everything underneath the sun. So I'm really looking forward to more games by the Bears. And let's go Bears! Now moving on to the NFC South and NFC West. The last two divisions we will cover, or that there are to cover. Tampa Bay is ahead of it 3-1. Falcons 2-2. Saints 2-2. Carolina 1-3. Bucks and Falcons, I actually have them switch. I have the Falcons at the top, Bucks coming at second, but I do have both of those teams making the playoffs. And as you can see, the New Orleans Saints are starting to cool off a little bit. They had that amazing hot start where Derek Carr was lighting it up. Okay, and the Panthers, if I believe correctly, the Panthers, the Panthers only lost by 10, and they were giving them boys a run for their money. All right, they were giving them boys a run for their money. Okay, and that's the thing about those kind of players, and like Derek Carr. Like you have your very good moments, you have your phenomenal moments, and then you don't. And it looks bad. And it looks bad pretty quick. So, I'm not expecting much I'm not expecting much from the Saints or from the Panthers either. Okay. Also, I also record on a little notepad every week how many of my predictions I got right. Last 2 weeks ago it was 5 out of 16. Last week it was 6 out of 16. And this week, I'm hoping for more. We'll get to that in a second, though. Seattle Seahawks are ahead of the NFC West, above the 49ers, Cardinals, and Rams. Rams, a lot of the offensive players are hurt, so I don't expect them to do much anytime soon. Cardinals are very good, but they're not good enough. Okay, their quarterback is still suspect, and just wait until Call of Duty comes out. First of all, everyone's going to be playing the new Call of Duty. Zombies are back. But just wait until Call of Duty comes out, and let's see how well Kyler Murray's doing then. 49ers, I actually have them winning this division, and I have the rest of the teams missing the playoffs. So, I do predict Geno Smith and the Seahawks to do a lot worse later on in the season. And the Seahawks also have a rookie head coach, so that's another factor to the equation why I think they're going to miss the playoffs. 49ers, Brock Purdy's getting it together, players are getting it together, and love to see that. I hope that they just keep going. Okay, I hope that they just keep going, because I have them ranked number 2 overall in the NFC. So hopefully that gets going. Okay. Now regarding the Cowboys and Giants, it's not on here because I did not post it on the TikTok, but I did have the Cowboys, honest. So I'm gonna count that, right? Now I had Bengals over Panthers, which is a dub. I had Falcons over Saints, which is a dub. I had Texans over Jaguars, dub. I actually had Jets over Broncos, which they should have won. They should have won. Okay. I had Vikings over Packers. Alright. And by the way, I post this on TikTok, so you could go look at this on TikTok. You can see the day I posted it. This is not fake. These are my actual predictions. Okay. Now I had the Colts over Steelers. Okay. I had the Bears over Rams, even though I was like, I think the Rams, but I don't know. But I have faith in my Bears. I have faith in my Bears. I had the Eagles over Bucks, which is dead wrong. I had the 49ers over the Patriots. I had the Cardinals over the Washington Commanders. I thought they were going to do something better than let a rookie light them up, but who am I to judge? Am I right? Now I had the Chiefs over Chargers, right? Obviously dub. I actually had the Raiders. Yeah, Raiders over Browns. I knew it. I can't trust them. Ravens over Bills. Dolphins over Texans, because you thought the quarterback would at least give Tyreek Hill some kind of go route. They missed him like 2 or 3 times tonight on the go route. So if they would have hit that, they would have connected on that. That would have been a couple touchdowns. They would have been in the game, if not leading the game and winning the game ultimately. But that takes practice. That takes time. So got to be patient. And I took Lions over Seahawks, which is a dub. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 16. Let's do quick maths. 12 divided by 16. 75%. Come on, boy. I only missed 4. I only missed 4 this week. Like, what's good? What's good, son? Like, come on. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, now we're going to switch it up. We're going to go into some global and domestic news. Appreciate you guys tuning in for the NFL topics. Don't worry, we're going to be covering the NBA as soon as the NBA gets started. We will also still be covering the NFL. So these episodes are going to run about 10 minutes longer, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes longer. Just a heads up for the future, because it's coming up. In about a month, it's coming up. So then let's not ever forget. We got to predict. So the NBA is going to be a little bit weird depending on how I want to do it. I'm still in a few different mindsets about how I want to do it. I might make a poll out there just to see if you guys are wanting to be engaging with me about it. So that's going to conclude the NFL side. So let's get right into the news. Spend about 10-15 minutes on it, and that'll be the end of the episode. So let's go. So world news, right? There's a manhunt in South Africa after 7 people were murdered. That is insane. They're actively are looking for this guy. So I think they have like a few suspects in mind, but this guy just apparently just decided to wake up one day and kill 17 people like that. Like, I don't know. I don't live over there. I don't know the environment over there. I never visited South Africa or Africa or anywhere outside the United States. But I hope they do find this guy and he doesn't kill any more people, because that's serial. Like, that's a serial murderer. Like, he just killed 17 people. Like, here we say like 6 or 7 is serial or something like that. Like, people like get real iffy about that kind of stuff. So 17, yo, he's serial, all right. Now, Israel's ground invasion to Lebanon. I keep saying it Lebanon. No, it's Lebanon. Okay, Lebanon. There's Israel's making moves. These last 2 weeks, they had the pagers blowing up. They had two waves of the pagers blowing up, on top of a missile strike that killed so many. Like, what was it? Since 2003, the most people killed in an airstrike between Israel and the Middle East since 2003, something like that, if I remember correctly. Now Israel is doing a full-scale ground invasion to Lebanon. So let's pray that everything settles down real quick over there. It cools off, and hopefully they can go back to being peaceful. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Probably going to take a few years to get to that point. But we can still sit here and hope for the best. Jill Biden sits in a cabinet meeting instead of Joe Biden. A lot of people like to brush this off. A lot of people like to say, well, whatever. No, it's not whatever. Our president should be doing his presidential duties, and if he can't do his presidential duties, then Kamala Harris needs to do it. Our vice president, not the first lady, who effectively did not get voted into office, or any office at that. So, yeah, like I said, a lot of people are like not caring, or a lot of people are like, yay, go, like, good, she should help her husband. No. Okay, we have procedures. We have procedures for this. If the president were ever to die, it's the vice president that takes the president off office, okay, and not the first lady. So we should keep those things in mind when we see stuff like this. We should have our vice president there if our sitting president cannot be there. And that's it's just bad, weird, and crazy in that White House. You know, they haven't fired anybody in 4 years. Everybody's just been doing such a good job at the White House that they couldn't fire anybody, which I find weird, because there's plenty of instances in the news of people not doing their jobs, or people getting caught up in certain scandals and this and that and this and that, and now I guess they just don't care enough about all that stuff. Now, another important one is Iran released a video of them assassinating Trump and saying it's for the leader. I under the impression that we as a nation should not sit idly by, and we should go and tell them, like, hey, whatever you have going on over here, cool, keep it over here. Don't bring it over here in America, one. And two, if you ever threaten a former president again, we will come into your country uninvitedly and find the people who did it. Because that's not a ha ha ha, that's a threat to a former president. Whether you agree with him or not, I'm going to say the same thing with Joe. Same thing with Obama, same thing with Clinton, same thing with the Bushes. Same thing with Trump. If a president is threatened, a former president is threatened in detail by another country that clearly we've been having problems with, we should go in there and start saying who did it, who did it, and two, who had the idea, and three, who released it. And if you're all the same person, easy. If they're all different people, we're gonna need all those people, or all this is gonna go bye-bye real fast. Like, we should send a message, but we're not. Now, this one hurts my heart the most and irritates me the most, all at the same time. Joe Biden says that we have no more resources for the hurricane victims before he was getting on his jet 3 days after he signed a $2.7 or $2.1 billion bill to send to Ukraine. And context, Joe did say that they were preparing for the hurricane. They already had all this stuff in place for the hurricane, and that they already have certain supplies and money and things of that nature going to these hurricane and disaster areas. But for the fact for you to say we have no more resources to help the victims, that's insane. No, that's insane. Because we do have more resources to help those people. You can actually, as the acting president, ask the states, hey, can we use your National Guard? Hey, can we use your National Guard? Hey, can we use your National Guard, to all the states of the United States of America, and say, I don't need all of them to go to those hurricane areas and help those people for 2, 3, 4 weeks on the federal government, as in they will pay for it. Oh my gosh. It's little things like that people let slide. And like I said, I gave more context to and everything. And when you just see it at face value, you'll be like, okay, I'll let it slide. Like, that's a little weird, a little unconventional, but you did say you already prepared stuff, blah, and blah, 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 blah. People let it slide. I'm not letting it slide. That is utterly ridiculous. We do have enough resources. You just don't want to use them correctly, or you cannot use them correctly because you're like flipping out about who you're calling out next. And he did have some good moments throughout this week regarding like interview wise and answering questions. But everyone is like, no one's denying it. Joe is like becoming like senile. Like, he's just forgetting stuff, and it's just man, I just hope that's not true, that we have no more resources sent to the hurricane victims. I just hope that's not true, and I hope and pray for all those people's lives, and hope that they got to safety first. Second, that they also got all their important belongings, all their really like touching stuff that means a lot to them, along with their holy Bible, because you gotta read the word and stay strong through these tough times. Okay, well, thank you for joining me for another episode. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the love. We're a small channel now, but soon we'll be growing, so don't even worry about it. Please, if you haven't, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and comment what you think about the news recap, about the NFL recap, about me doing the NBA pretty soon when it's coming up. Let me know what you think. Also, regarding that, please follow the TikTok, and follow the TikTok. Like I said, I'll be posting 2-3 times every week there, especially the predictions. I try to do it Thursday morning, Wednesday night. This week didn't happen, so that's why it wasn't up there. But I already knew I picked the Cowboys because the Giants are bad. Okay, I hope no one sits there and try to say I'm not legit. I think that's a pretty clear pick right there. Okay. Other than that, you guys have a good night, or day, or evening, or morning. Deuces.